It's this notion of we're converging as a collective onto more, I guess you say, inspired and pure forms of this constructs. If you join a coaching program, you join some accountability program, it's like a gym membership. I'm speaking from my own perspective, is my way I'm wired. I get in there and then I feel suffocated. It's too much framework. It's too much of a rigid structure. There's no organic, there's no natural inspiration. There's no divine, because the space is filled with constructs. There's all these things you got to do. And I think it goes back to the gym membership. If somebody's already stuck in I can't push forward to action, it's almost counterintuitive to put more pressure on oneself to enter into an accountability program or a coaching program, or I need a coach to beat me up, or a boot camp to beat me up to push through. It's almost like that's going to make the resistance grow, because that which you resist persists, right? So you have to make the choice and ease into it. And that's, again, why I think there's a subtle brilliance in what you're doing, because there's that framework without a framework. And then people listening are going to go, Haas, that sounds weird. I go, exactly. That's the point. The point is, because Brian Kelly has created something or birthed something where you have a framework, which then allows this natural stuff within it to work, technically it's not empty per se. There's ability for the fluidity within that framework, which is what I started this with. So that's what I feel is the magic ingredient. You face your own resistance in that space. Brian is not going to say, hey, push through this. If you want to do it, like all great change, it needs to come from within. You then create the space that if somebody really wants to do it, it's probably the closest thing to an ideal environment to do it in. Without a filled structure that's all this, there's no empty to explore. You know, you the bowling alley, as I said in the group, you're the bowling lane thing that you don't go in the gutter. Well, within that lane, there's so many ways that you can find yourself. Eventually, you'll get to the pins. That's what you've done. You're not like, you got to go down the middle, and that's too rigid. That doesn't allow for the potency of the universe to work, the divine unfolding to work. You know, we can't tell thy will be done, not our will be done, to wrap it up on a random faith-based comment. It really is that. It's you don't know how the permutations in the algorithm are supposed to come about. You can only hold the space, and that's back to the question is, you got to be willing, and then you got to allow. And then if you enter this space, that's what you provide the opportunity for then people to then see their own resistance and then choose to overcome it. Nobody's going to do it for them. And that's the sustainable way that that change happens, personal growth happens, impact happens. And that's where, again, I sense this as a facilitator, as a coach, that is part of the coaching curriculum, is you guide, you don't tell. Well, you've now taken it a step further. You've created a space. Instead of being only a coach, you've created a space. So this is, I feel, the evolution of coaching, is spaces that allow for growth and transformation, not people that change you. You change you in the space.